Hello everyone. In this video, we will see which reports are available in our system. We will discuss which report is useful for what purpose, which user benefits from it, and how it can be useful for you. We will also look at the filters available in each report. The reports you need on a daily basis will be explained in this session. All the work done by our callers and executives throughout the day is automatically compiled into reports. We don't need to create any reports separately. When we log in with a supervisor ID, the supervisor can access reports for all their callers and executives, so there is no need to collect any data separately from them. If we talk about telecallers, a telecaller has a report generated for all the cases allocated to them and their executives under the telecaller ID. They don't need to merge data from different executives or create a separate report. First, we have the NSA report, which means No Service Area report. This report is useful for supervisors during allocation. Suppose an allocation of 200 or 500 cases comes from the bank, and out of these, 10, 20, 50, or 100 cases are in areas you don't cover. These cases need to be withdrawn and returned to the bank. From here, we can download the report. For all the cases that we have in the no service area, like if there are 97 cases in the TW flow, we can go to the report section, download the NSA report for TW flow, and view it. If there are 97 cases or 96 cases, we get those 96 records here. We can export this report with one click, and we will get the report in Excel format. You can then send this report to the bank. Once we have the Excel sheet, if you need to make any changes, you can do so. You can see that we have the details of the 96 records. If needed, you can send this to the bank, which will start the process of withdrawing your cases. After getting approval from the bank and once the bank verifies the cases, you can delete those cases. The Trails report is used on a daily basis. It shows the work related to cases done by telecallers, supervisors, executives, and team leaders throughout the day. There are many filters available in this report. If I log in with a subadmin ID, I can see filters for product class, trail type, visit for fieldwork, phone for call feedback. You can filter by a specific executive, team leader, or telecaller. You can also filter by code or by selecting a date range to see trails from specific dates. If you need to see trails for a particular loan number, you can do that too. You can view the trail here and easily export it with one click. The difference between view and bank trail is that the view report does not show the customer's name, while the bank trail does. Otherwise, all the other details remain the same. To export the report you need to send to the bank, click on Export, and the report will be exported, allowing you to send it to the bank. You can see that the report has been downloaded. For a supervisor's daily tasks, they need to gather feedback from callers about their executives' calls, update this feedback in an Excel sheet, and then send their respective Excel sheets to the supervisor via email or any other mediator. So, if we consider under a supervisor, let's say there are 6 executives and 5 callers. Then, the supervisor has to gather reports from these 5 callers. They merge these reports and then can send the final report to the bank. But in our system, it's not like that. If a supervisor has any number of callers under them, they will receive reports from all of them combined. If they need a report for a particular telecaller, they can also get that, as I showed you earlier. As you create trails, you are receiving trails in the same manner. So, this was our Trails report. The Trails report is the most useful because we need it on a daily basis. Liner print report, typically, we don't need to give a liner print to executives because we have provided them with a mobile app. So, the liner we give them, which shows them the data of the cases, is displayed in the app. But still, if you want to give a liner in the traditional way, or if any executive doesn't have an Android phone to use the app, or for any other reason they can't use the app, you can still give them a liner. So, if you want to give a liner for any product here, select the product's name and the executive's name and view it. You will see the liner, and you can export it. So, in TW Flow, if I want a liner for the cases allocated to my executive, I have to select their name. See, Naman Sinha has 48 allocated cases, they have come, exported, and you have received this liner. Currently, we give this liner print on 4 sheets, all these columns are related to the loan. Keep the columns you need, otherwise, delete them. So, in the first column, there's the loan number, customer's name, POS, bucket EMI, total EMI due, check bounce charge, late payment penalty, total due. Now, in the address column, all the mobile numbers of the customers you have will be merged. Then comes the office address, risk band model, and the complete information of the product. Keep the details you need, or you can delete them. So, that was our liner print. Then we have our DRA allocation report. As a supervisor, you need to send the DRA allocation report to the bank. You can download the DRA allocation report from here. If you need to download the DRA allocation report in any portfolio, just view it and export it as shown earlier. In this report, you get details like loan number, customer's name, risk class, executive's DRA registration number, their name, telecaller's registration number, and the telecaller's name. Then, discuss the collection report in the next report. In the feedback report, if we update and provide feedback on a loan number 4 times in a day, according to the trails report, we'll have 4 attempts. However, in the feedback report, entries are made based on loan numbers, while in the trails report, they're based on attempts. So, in the feedback report, if we visit a loan number 10 times in 10 days and make 3 calls, all of this data will merge into one column. There will be separate columns for visits and calls. Let me show you the format. In the feedback report, we have all our loan numbers listed, including those where we haven't made any attempts. This helps us identify where we haven't attempted anything. So, let's see. The first column is the serial number, the second is the risk class, the third is the loan number, the fourth is the customer's name, then comes POS, caller, executive, action data, action code, and phone feedback. For instance, if we attempted a loan number 4 times in a day, called a customer 4 times, and updated feedback 4 times, all 4 feedback entries will merge into one in the phone feedback column, showing the date, time, code, remark, and feedback details. In the trails report, these 4 feedback entries will appear in separate columns. The trails report is based on attempts, while the feedback report is based on loan numbers. Similarly, if there were visit feedback entries, they would be shown accordingly. If there are multiple feedback entries, they merge into one column. So, that's the feedback report. The feedback report, trail report, and intensity report can also be generated based on the calendar, showing on which date we attempted what on which loan number. You can also view this on the calendar. It starts from the first date when the month starts and goes on until today. So, you can export this as well, which helps identify which code was used on which date in this case and what code is currently active. Now, let's talk about the intensity report. The difference between the intensity report and the feedback report is that in the feedback report, the form and visit columns were separate, but in the intensity report, all feedback related to one loan number, whether it's form or visit feedback, gets merged into one column. Sometimes, at the end of the month, we may have made all possible attempts on 1 or 2 loan numbers, visited the customer, made calls, but still, the customer didn't make the payment. In such cases, we need to show the bank that we made all possible attempts but the customer didn't pay. So, as you can see here, first, it shows that the customer was online paid on 29 June 2019 at a specific time. Then, again on the same date, the customer was contacted by phone, and again, the customer was online paid. So, all feedback and remarks get merged here, which is why it's called the intensity report. You can see the filters here: portfolio, risk class, telecaller, failed collector, team leader, team, intensity type, whether it's no phone or no visit. You can also filter by contact mode, whether it's phone or visit. You want code selection, you want it code-wise, and you want the case status according to the date circle and particularly for a specific loan number. So, you are getting all these filters. Then we'll look at the allocation report in the next video, we'll see the star card report in the next video, we'll also discuss the recon report in the next video, the claim paid report, which is generated daily. Let me tell you about that. In the claim paid report, we can see all the transactions related to payments, whether it's online payments, checks, cash, or DDs. So, for product filtering, risk class, telecaller, failed collector, team leader, and team are available. In the code section, there are only 2 columns, online paid or paid. Under paid, there are 3 payment modes. If we take online paid, we can select the payment mode here. If we don't want to, we won't. Here in payment type, you see regular. In contact mode, whether it's taken by phone or visit. What's the field collector status on this case now? Credit, yes or no? So, you are getting all these filters: pickup agent, their name, date circle, or loan number. So, let's say in TW flow, I want to see all payments, then I want. So, see the serial number, disposed, date, the date on which the remark was made. Risk class, loan number, customer's name, POS, caller, failed collector, pickup agent. So, see, this pickup happened on this loan number. So, we found out from here. Team leader, then team, contact mode, whether it was paid by phone or visit, what was the code, online paid or paid. Payment date, amount paid, payment mode, and then the receipt number. What's the payment type status of the case now? If it was a check, the bank's name, its details are here. So, these are all the columns you are seeing, so we can generate such reports. It helps us know how much collection each executive has done today. Although you can see it on the live page, if you want to see it as a telecaller, you can. Because the live page is not for them. So, these were our reports. We'll show you the rest of the reports in the next video. For more information, watch our other videos. Thank you.